Headlines flash across screens, Chinese warships swarm Taiwan Strait. The world watches in real time as tensions escalate, each headline more urgent than the last, each image a stark reminder of the region's volatility. Philippine and Chinese vessels collide in the South China Sea, a flashpoint that has become all too familiar. These confrontations are no longer rare incidents, they are now routine, a dangerous dance on contested waters. The air in Asia is thick with uncertainty. In bustling cities and quiet villages alike, people glance nervously at their phones, wondering what tomorrow might bring. For years, the world watched Beijing's growing ambition, its gaze fixed on Taiwan. Military parades and political speeches have signaled China's intent, leaving little doubt about its long-term goals. The question was never if China would act, but when. Each passing day, analysts pore over satellite images, searching for signs of the inevitable move. But now the Philippines has emerged as a critical barrier to China's plans. Its location is no longer just a geographic fact, it's a strategic reality that Beijing cannot ignore. The path to Taipei doesn't just cross the Taiwan Strait, it runs through the strategic waters and islands of the Philippines. These islands, once overlooked, are now at the heart of a global standoff. Every move China makes must now account for this southern flank. Military planners in Beijing scrutinize maps, recalculating risks and strategies. The Philippines is no longer a bystander, it's a pivotal piece on the Indo-Pacific chessboard. Its leaders meet with allies, weighing options and preparing for what may come. This shift makes any invasion of Taiwan a far more complicated and dangerous gamble for Beijing. The stakes have risen, and the risks are higher than ever. On one side, China's immense military machine projects power with alarming assertiveness. Warships and fighter jets are a constant presence, a show of force meant to intimidate. On the other, the Philippines reasserts its sovereignty with newfound vigor. Its navy stands ready and its people rally behind their leaders, determined to defend their nation's future. The tension is palpable from Manila's crowded streets to remote fishing villages where livelihoods depend on the sea. Every day, ordinary people feel the weight of decisions made far above their heads. A conflict here would trigger a global economic crisis, severing vital shipping lanes that connect Asia to the world. The ripple effects would be felt in every corner of the globe, from factories to supermarkets. The stakes are high not just for Taiwan's 23 million people, but for the world order itself. Diplomats scramble, world leaders convene, all aware that the balance of power hangs in the balance. The question is no longer just about China and Taiwan. The entire region, and indeed the world, is now drawn into this unfolding drama. The Philippines, with its strategic location and alliances, is now the unexpected linchpin in the defense of a free and open Indo-Pacific. Its choices and actions could shape the future of Asia and the world for generations to come. Geography is destiny, shaping the fate of nations and the course of history itself. And nowhere is this more evident than in the Luzon Strait, the narrow body of water that separates the Philippines from Taiwan, acting as a crucial maritime crossroads in East Asia. For China's military planners, this strait is both a vital gateway to the Pacific and a formidable barrier that can hinder their ambitions. To fully encircle Taiwan and threaten its eastern coastline, China's navy must pour through the Luzon Strait, securing access to the open Pacific and tightening its grip on the island. Without firm control of this narrow passage, any invasion or blockade plan becomes incredibly risky, exposing Chinese forces to counterattack and logistical nightmares. The Philippines' northernmost islands, Itbayat, Bataan, and Mavulis, stand like sentinels over the Bashi Channel, serving as unsinkable aircraft carriers and natural fortresses in the sea. From these rugged outposts, missile launchers, advanced surveillance systems, and Filipino troops can monitor, track, and potentially deny access to any hostile forces attempting to pass through. China cannot simply sail through uncontested. The strait could quickly transform into a deadly kill zone, where every ship and submarine is at risk. The Bashi Channel is also the main artery for China's nuclear submarines, providing their only direct route from home ports to the deep waters of the Pacific, essential for strategic deterrence. If this passage is blocked or monitored, China's second-strike nuclear capability is severely compromised, undermining its ability to project power and deter adversaries. By its very location, the Philippines holds a geographic key, one that can lock or unlock one of China's most important strategic doors, shaping the balance of power in the entire region. The U.S.-Philippine alliance, anchored by the historic 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty, has long been a cornerstone of security in Southeast Asia. For decades, this partnership has shaped the region's balance of power, providing a sense of stability and mutual assurance. Today, this alliance is more vital than ever, as both nations face new and evolving security challenges in the Indo-Pacific. As tensions with China escalate over territorial disputes and freedom of navigation, the U.S. and the Philippines have revitalized their cooperation. Urgent strategy sessions and expanded joint operations now define their relationship, reflecting a renewed sense of urgency and shared purpose. The Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, or EDCA, grants the U.S. access to new strategically located sites in the northern Philippines, just a few hundred kilometers from Taiwan. These locations are critical, placing American forces within rapid reach of potential flashpoints. This proximity allows the U.S. to pre-position troops, equipment and supplies, drastically reducing response time in the event of a crisis or sudden conflict in the region. The visible American presence on these bases acts as a tripwire. Any act of aggression could immediately trigger the Mutual Defense Treaty, drawing both nations into action. This new reality raises the stakes for Beijing, transforming what could be a regional confrontation into a potential global crisis, with far-reaching consequences for all involved. Annual Balikatan military exercises have grown larger and more complex, now featuring live fire drills, amphibious landings, and joint patrols at sea. These exercises test readiness and demonstrate the alliance's ability to operate together under real-world conditions. These drills send a clear and unmistakable message: the U.S.-Philippine alliance is not just symbolic but fully active, integrated, and combat-ready to respond to any threat. The psychological impact of this partnership is immense, boosting Filipino morale, reassuring the public, and reinforcing deterrence against potential aggressors. China must now factor in the reality of a rapid and coordinated U.S. response from Philippine soil, complicating any plans for regional dominance. The alliance is no longer just a paper treaty. It has become a visible, integrated partnership, with both nations working side by side to ensure peace and stability. The Philippines does not stand alone. With the United States as a steadfast ally, its security is reinforced by a powerful and committed partner. Any act of aggression will be met with a swift, unified response, making it clear that the U.S.-Philippine alliance stands ready to defend peace in the region. The Philippines has shifted from internal security to external defense, launching an ambitious military modernization. The Navy now fields modern frigates, fast attack craft, and amphibious landing docks. The Air Force has new fighter jets and attack helicopters. Most significantly, shore-based BrahMos supersonic missiles can threaten hostile ships in the Luzon Strait. This creates a powerful anti-access bubble, directly challenging China's control of the seas around Taiwan. Joint exercises with the U.S. and allies ensure Filipino forces are trained on the latest tactics and technologies. The armed forces of the Philippines is becoming a modern, professional, and networked military. It's now a crucial player in regional security. The South China Sea dispute and the Taiwan conflict are two fronts in the same struggle. China's sweeping claims overlap with the Philippines' exclusive economic zone, leading to constant friction. Manila's resistance forces China to divert resources, preventing it from focusing solely on Taiwan. If the Philippines were passive, China could secure its sea lanes northward. But active resistance creates a two-front problem, stretching Chinese forces thin. The BRP Sierra Madre at Ayungin Shoal symbolizes Filipino resolve, manned by Marines under constant intimidation. Their mission is a microcosm of the larger struggle. The Philippines will not be pushed out of its own waters. The South China Sea remains contested, a strategic headache for China's Taiwan planners. In the West Philippine Sea, the first line of defense is made up of Filipino fishermen and the Coast Guard. Fishermen face constant harassment from China's Coast Guard and maritime militia, yet refuse to be intimidated. Their presence asserts Philippine rights and provides vital intelligence on Chinese movements. The Philippine Coast Guard, outnumbered and outgunned, escorts fishing boats and resupplies remote outposts. They use cameras and invite journalists to document China's aggression, exposing Beijing's coercion to the world. This assertive transparency has shaped the international narrative. The PCG and fishermen have turned the information space into a battleground, and they're winning. Courage here is measured by conviction, not the size of the ship. Their daily acts of defiance are a crucial part of the nation's defense. While tensions rise at sea, the Philippines leads a diplomatic battle within ASEAN. Manila rallies neighbors, framing the issue as a threat to regional order and sovereign rights. By sharing intelligence and coordinating messaging, the Philippines builds a coalition of the concerned. The 2016 Hague ruling invalidated China's 9-dash line, affirming Philippine rights. Manila consistently invokes this legal victory, grounding its position in international law. This gives the Philippines moral authority and frames China as an outlaw state. The fight is for rules, not just territory. The Philippines' stand has drawn global support, transforming its struggle into a test for the rules-based order. The G7, EU, Australia, Japan, India, and the UK have all condemned China's aggression and reaffirmed the 2016 ruling. Allies provide patrol vessels, conduct joint patrols, and send naval ships to reinforce international waters. This network of partnerships creates a web of deterrence, complicating China's calculations. Aggression against the Philippines is now a global issue, not just a bilateral dispute. Multilateral pressure raises the cost for Beijing. Dramatic footage from the front lines shapes global opinion and generates sympathy for Manila. The world is watching, making it harder for China to operate in the shadows. International attention is now one of the Philippines' most powerful allies. The Philippines' greatest strength is the indomitable spirit of its people, bayanihan, or communal unity. From government halls to fishing villages, Filipinos rally behind the flag, determined to defend their sovereignty. The global Filipino diaspora keeps the story alive, advocating for their homeland worldwide. This deep patriotism is rooted in a long history of resisting foreign powers. The struggle against China is seen as the defining challenge of this generation. It's a fight for dignity, the future, and the nation's soul. This unity gives the government a strong mandate to stand firm. China's plans for Taiwan are being disrupted by this small but resolute nation. The Philippines is the unexpected game-changer in Asia. Its true barrier is the unwavering spirit of 110 million Filipinos united in defense of their home.